Joining me now with more on the escalating tensions on the Korean Peninsula is Ivan Eland. He's director of the Center on Peace and Liberty at the Independent Institute. It's a Washington think tank here in D.C. Thanks for joining us. Ivan, what are the biggest mistakes the U.S. and the ROK can make going forward in dealing with this escalating situation with the DPRK?
Well, I don't think either country really wants war, but I think the real danger here is that there's some accident, troops contact each other, or there's some firing of a weapon or something that could set off a wider and deeper conflict. And I think that's really what we need to avoid. I think the United States probably, this muscle flexing today was probably a bad idea with the B-2s, because although it's not good that Kim is threatening these nuclear weapons and that sort of thing, that's really out of line. But I think just rising to the bait is what he wants, and I think it behooves the U.S. to just remain calm.
You've written about this issue. What are your thoughts on the Pentagon spokesperson coming out and saying today that the U.S. needs to stay one step ahead of the DPRK? Is the U.S. just playing into Kim Jong-un's hands?
Yes, I think so. And I think he wants more aid. And he also has an internal problem that he's a young leader, and he doesn't have the full confidence of the North Korean military, who really run the society, and like his father and grandfather did. So he has to earn that internally, and he does that by belligerent rhetoric. Now, I don't think he wants a war, but on the other hand, if we back him into a corner, he's liable. And these sanctions, I think it's fine on his nuclear elements of his nuclear program, but when they go wider and try to strangle an already poor economy, it only makes it more likely that he's going to try to sell nuclear and missile technology to get hard currency. So I think that's a bad idea. And of course, he's reacting. Part of this rhetoric is reacting to the tighter UN sanctions. And those are very, the U.S. has put on very broad sanctions, and so have other countries. And so I think that's actually a mistake. I think when you have countries like Iran, Cuba, North Korea, that's exactly what the leaders want them to do, is to isolate them, because I don't think they can survive without an external enemy to hate. And so I think Castro would have been out of power years ago if he hadn't had the U.S. to rally the nationalist card. And I think Iran's the same way, and North Korea is probably the same way also.
We have about 30 seconds left. So what should we do, or what should these countries do in handling the DPRK and Iran? Should they just be ignored?
Well, I think that would be an improvement over that's what they want, is they want to try to dredge up tensions. But I think what we need to do is disengage from the South, defending South Korea. South Korea now has 30 to 40 times the GDP of the North, and they can defend themselves. And instead, the United States is going deeper. We're saying even if there's a little skirmish, shelling or whatnot, which may affect people who live in South Korea, it doesn't affect the United States, but we're now providing aid to the South Koreans for even something like that. And of course, that can escalate once the U.S. gets involved and stuff. It's better to de-escalate, I think, and to wean the South Koreans off the need for the U.S. defense.
All right, Ivan Eland, thank you so much. Always great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.